Hey, welcome to this podcast. If you're new to it, this is the 5 Minute Quickie, the 5 Minute Quickie podcast of Personal Development Unplugged, keeping all things personal development, but keeping them simple. So breaking down the complicated and making them simple. This is just, as I say, 5 minutes to give you something to think about. There's the longer podcasts, they're about 20 or so minutes long, where we go deeper into subjects and really try to find out processes that will allow you to change quickly, change easily. So if you're interested in that, have a look around. Just to let you know, my name's Paul. I'm an NLP trainer, a master hypnotist. I actually train other hypnotists as well, and do all sorts of things with the mind. I'm a therapist as well. So anything I can do to help you change or be better, be greater, or just maximize your potential, that's what we're here for. Personal development, unplugged. A quick heads up about this 5 Minute Quickie. Near the end of it, I struggle in my mind to say a particular word in a way that the word escapes me completely. I have a real brain fog, a blank. And the word was curious and curiosity. Be curious, have curiosity. If you put those in those gaps that are quite really evident, it'll make so much more sense. Still makes sense-ish. But they were the words I was struggling with and it just came to me. So curious and curiosity. Hey, welcome back to the 5 Minute Quickie. And here's something. I was listening to somebody the other day who was talking to, I think it was a psychologist, and saying about that there was some real good studies and things going on and they've come up with that talking to yourself in the third person helps to feel less negative. I thought, that's interesting. I wonder what that really means. So I just a little bit longer because I was being a bit thick and I didn't get it. And it came through that you talk to yourself in the way that Paul over there, Paul is feeling a bit anxious today. Yeah, he's feeling anxious. And then, the more you talk to yourself in that way of how you're feeling over there, you were less feeling the anxiousness, as it were. And I thought to myself, that's really good. That is really, really good. But it's something we've been doing for years. And they're doing a study on it now. And I love this thing that, I do love it that people are trying to bring evidence around that these things work other than the anecdotal evidence. But anecdotal evidence can be really good because it gives you something to try. So if someone says, I did this and I got this result, you can try it too. You don't have to wait to find out that they've had a blind test, they've done this and done that. I do understand why people want to get evidence-based processes and things like that, because it does give the public, as it were, something more structural, more foundation to go from. But I don't think it makes it any better, because there's so much stuff going around that is really good, and it hasn't been proved or tested in those clinical ways, but it has been proved in my mind because of the anecdotal evidence. Overwhelmingly so. And this thing about, talking to yourself in the third person. What is it? They were maybe they didn't, or maybe they're not into hypnosis and NLP and that type of thing. But it's basically just dissociation. Where do you remember that, different positions we were talking about? The first position, looking through your own eyes. Second position, looking back from somebody else's eyes, through back to you. And that third position, the meta position, outside, the director's position. And that is dissociated, when you see yourself. And of course, when you're dissociated from your body, guess what happens? You can't feel what you're feeling. And that's how people get rid of phobias. That's how we get people to be able to talk about their issues as if they're talking about something, about themselves. Not, I do this, but I used to do this, or, when I did it this way. Not that I'm doing it now. And that gives them, one thing, this distance, which gives them the way that they can talk about it without that emotional tie, because they're not in their own body, they're not back in that situation, but it also gives them an authority over their issue, because they are now the teacher. They're teaching, for me as a therapist, they're teaching me how they do what they do, and that makes them an authority, and they can do it with ease now because they're talking in a dissociated manner. The third person, he over there, she over there, them over there. But the thing is, yes, it will diminish our emotion. So it can be positive or negative, whatever you do, you get dissociated, your connection to that emotion is going to be diminished, if not totally disappeared. However, you've got to come back into your own body. So whilst you can talk in that third person, you've got to do something. Do something in a way that's going to allow you to feel differently, haven't you? Because what's the point of just diminishing something to let it come back again? Appreciate sometimes that it gives you space, gives you time to breathe, gives you time to think. But if you are going to use auditory as your vehicle to talk about yourself, I think you need to say, well, I think that me over there, what they need to do is they could try this, they could try that, and actually get them to do it in front of you, and notice how they behave. Notice how are they, doing it in a different way. Does it look good? Does it sound good? And if it does, step in and find out, because that's what we do in our therapy. We dissociate, we make changes, and then we come back. And as we come back, we test them, test the changes that we've made, and are they better? So I think it's great that these people are doing this stuff. But I think we need to do it in a way that we can use it. Not just, oh, this is what this does. It's that question of just, being just adventurous. I can't think of the word at the moment.
Hello, darlings, Mumsy here. I think this is the point that Paul is looking to find the word curious. And curiosity. He is such a funny boy when he has these moments, isn't he? But anyway, just think of being curious and you'll find so many ways to be different.
But when you get that word, you just think of every different way that you could maybe use this. And you're going to come up with some wonderful things. And you may, and here's a real thing, when you start looking at different ways you could use it, you might actually find a different context. And then that's when the magic happens, because you're using something completely differently and it's going to smash a different issue. So it's really just looking around and knowing that you can make changes. Okay, this is a lovely way to begin the changes. And I do think it is great that people are doing this, but I just felt it fell short, and I don't want to fall short. So I want you, if you do think you're feeling a little bit negative, if you can't see yourself over there, start by verbalizing it in the third person. Start talking to yourself over there. Okay, Paul, I know you're feeling anxious at the moment, but here's the thing. What would happen if you took a deep breath? What would happen if you saw that situation differently? What would happen if you started to think of acting in the way that when you're confident in that other way, what would happen then? Things like that. And once you start doing that, you have to take it on yourself anyway. Because just imagine, if you're thinking about alternative ways to act, behave, to think, you've got to try it on anyway, even if you don't know it. It's unconscious. Where's it come from? So play. And that's all I'm asking today is take something, think about it, and just play. Anyway, just before we go, a quick word from either our sponsor or it might be a shout out. I haven't got a clue what she's going to say next. Okay. But from me, Paul, enjoy every heartbeat and have more fun than you can stand. Bye-bye now.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hello, darlings, it's Mumsy here, and he's called me his sponsor. Isn't that wonderful? Because we don't have sponsors here, do we really? No. But what I'd like you to do, just for little Mumsy, me, and even more for little Paul. If you really enjoy these poddy things, wouldn't it be nice if you subscribed? I think that's in TuneEyes or things like that, and left a little testimonial or reviewy thing. I think he says, and you know what? If you have other little friends that would like to come and sit on the mat with us, wouldn't it be nice if you shared it with them and told them all about it? I wonder how many friends you could tell. That would make Mumsy very happy. It would make Paul happy too, but more me. I like people listening to me. Right, better get back to Paulie now.
And now, back to the show.
Oh, and just a quick reminder before you go. Obviously the longer podcasts are here, but the main thing is this generative field of learning that I talk about so much, and it's all to do about sharing things. So if you'd love to share this, if you've enjoyed it, please do share this podcast with as many people as you can. If you do, and you would like a unique hypnosis track that I've recorded, but only for the people who share. So if you'd like that, please do share and let me know. You can let me know by email, paul@paulclough.co.uk, or on Twitter, which is @pcluffy. Let me know, and I just need an email address after that, and I'll send you not yours, because it's everyone's, a hypnosis track which isn't available anywhere else. Okay? So enjoy and live with passion, as a big man used to say, and it's a great saying. Enjoy. Personal development, unplugged.